It's time to kill Bill. So, if this is your first time to this channel and you love movies and martial arts, consider hitting that subscribe button. Also, hit that bell icon so you don't miss anything. Wow, what a way to start a movie. Absolutely love this. What a fantastic fight scene. It just blew me away. I love Kill Bill Volume 1. I think it's probably Tarantino's best movie. For me, it's my favourite movie anyway. I think between Pulp Fiction and Kill Bill, I think his two best films and my two favourite films. But Kill Bill Volume 1 definitely, because it pays homage to, the old school martial art movies specifically. I mean, this is how you open up an action film. You get straight to the point. You get the audience engaged within the first 5 minutes. I was hooked. I was like, I love this movie because it just started fantastically well. The characters were dynamic, interesting, mysterious, and from the fighting you could tell obviously who these characters were, that they're not who they appear to be. You don't know anything about Beatrix as she's walking up to the house. You don't know that much about her. Yet something tragic happened to her, but it's not something you really know until you see the flashback. And I love the way you see her face, but obviously there's an opaque kind of flashback within her face and you can see what happened, but you still don't know much about her. It's mysterious, but again, it tells you a lot about these two people, that they're two warriors, they're two assassins who have a past, and this is another great example of character through action. It's another great example of how you don't need to explain everything verbally, but actions speak louder than words. So again, the way they fought as well, they were looking for kill shots. Everything's a kill shot, so they're assassins, they're used to efficiently finishing off their opponents. And this is what happens when two highly skilled, trained assassins are clashing head to head, in a domestic environment. So, absolutely love this fight scene. I love the way Uma Thurman's character, the bride, she comes out of the car and, it's like, Pasadena or something like that. I can't remember where the place was. She's walking across the lawn and you see like all these like children's toys and stuff. So some suburbs, and then she rings on the bell. She's kind of got this neutral look on her face. Obviously she looks kind of like she's ready for something, but you don't quite know what. If you're just watching for the first time, you don't necessarily know the background between these two. So the bell rings and she's like, I can't believe you were early. Sarah, I can't believe you were early. Opens up the door. And you don't know, is this Sarah or not Sarah? And then that Ironside music comes on and it's just like the zoom, the kung fu zoom. And then you see the flashback in her face, like with Vivica punching her and her on the ground, and then it's just like this freeze moment where it's like, these guys have got history. With Vivica's character, she's moved on from that. So that's long after the events of the massacre of the wedding, which we find out later. But wow, like straight away, punch in the face, bam! And what I love about this fight scene, firstly, it's directed by, or the martial art choreography is directed by Yuen Woo-Ping. And Yuen Woo-Ping is a legend in Hong Kong, a legend in movies in general for his martial arts action and his martial arts fight scenes. He's the guy behind Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, The Matrix, many Hong Kong movies such as I, Monkey, Drunken Master, all these classics. And to bring him in, Tarantino obviously knew the right guy to bring in and to work with to do the fight choreography. He really understands action, he really understands how to do choreography, he really understands camera angles as well. And the fight scene, it was like a domestic violence scene obviously, because it's like in the middle of this suburb, like they're causing complete chaos, It was just so good because obviously you see these two women are very skilled. Now you've got this housewife and she's really an assassin or past assassin, and she's obviously still got her skills, and then you've got the bride just coming in and attacking her, and it's so bizarre. Like, it just kind of hits you for six. You're kind of like, what is going on? Because there's nothing that's explained at this point, you know. And I like that because it gives you the fight a lot of mystery. Obviously, you can tell from the flashback that these guys had history, like I was saying before, that obviously Vivica was involved in attacking the bride earlier at some point in history, and now she's come for revenge. But nothing's explained, so it's just the shock of the moment. The audience is getting the shock of the fight, as Vivica's getting the shock of seeing Beatrix, kiddo, or the bride for the first time since that moment. And I thought it was so well done. Just so well done. And the use of the environment to cause the chaos, because obviously it's a home. So they're just, again, they're warriors, so they're able to use what's around them. So chair legs. So she grabs the coal stick from the fire and knocks her in the head, and she's as Vivica's giving her a rear naked choke. You know, Vivica, she grabs like a bookshelf or whatever it was and throws it at the bride. They're going through the tables. It's brilliant, man. And then she goes to the kitchen, gets a knife. Again, what does Beatrix do? She manages to grab what's available. So she uses a pan to block the knife. And then they both got the knives at the end. And they're like, there's this wide shot of them both just there standing there. Like, they're swinging at each other. They haven't actually engaged. But then there's this brilliant wide shot. They're both standing there, facing off with each other. And then you see the school bus in the background in the window come into shot, and then the little girl coming towards the house. And then what I thought was really good was they haven't said any words to each other, but the facial expressions that both these actresses had was really good, because it's obviously communicating, oh, let's stop this because my daughter's coming. And in that moment, Uma Thurman's character, the bride, she has empathy for Vivica's character, because it's kind of like, well, okay, I'm going to kill you, but I'm not going to kill you in front of your daughter. I have some sort of empathy, but it's empathy towards your daughter, not empathy towards you, you know, because it's a young, innocent girl. So she comes in and she's like, hey baby, how was school, you know, and they kind of just put the knives behind their back. And the girl's looking around. She obviously knows something's wrong, but she's like, what's wrong? And she's making it out as if the dog caused all this mess, but obviously the little girl's not stupid. She knows that there was some sort of conflict between this woman and her mother. And I love the fact that the fight's over and they're literally having a civil conversation. Oh, you know, you take 2 sugars in your coffee and whatever, and they go to the kitchen, have a conversation. She makes her coffee, and then they just talk about obviously what needs to happen with this, you know. I like the way, obviously you can see Vivica's a bit afraid of the bride because she's a great warrior, and as well the fact that she's still alive. You know, she survived the massacre that Bill and the other members of the team inflicted on the bride from 4 years ago. So she's obviously still afraid. She's using her daughter as a kind of scapegoat, and she's like saying, oh well, I don't expect your forgiveness, but for my daughter, she wants kind of empathy for her daughter. And she's like, don't try and use her as a shield, you know, you and I have unfinished business. So at this point you're kind of like, they're discussing what they're gonna do. So she's like, oh, let's meet at the stadium and have a knife fight. There was something quite not right about this. She's like, we're not gonna see them fight again. But then again, I was sort of thinking we were. But then there was the cereal, the Kaboom cereal, and she's like, and she shoots the gun through the cereal and then gets stabbed, and then it's over. And then the little girl comes in and she's like, well, if you ever need to come, your mom had it coming, but when you're older, if you need to come find me, I'll be waiting. I thought that fight scene was really good. I thought the ending was good because it was kind of shocking as well. You kind of half expected maybe Vivica would try something else, but at the same time, like, you wouldn't expect it through the cereal, that there'd be a gun through the cereal. And of course she misses and Bride manages to kill her. But I thought this fight scene was well done, very well done. if you haven't seen it, I can't wait for you to see it. You're gonna love it. So definitely check it out. And if you haven't seen it, I don't know why you're watching this video, because again, Fight Scene Friday, we analyze the fight scenes. So if you like this video, hit that like button, share, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what your favourite part of this fight scene was. Did you like the choreography? Did you like the way that it opened? Were you as blown away by it as I was? Absolutely love the opening to this movie and the opening fight to this movie. So good. But comment down below, let me know your thoughts. Anyway, I'll see you next week for another Fight Scene Friday. And remember, behind every fight is a great story. Peace!